Rough Cutters, Adam Stanchek Thursday movie review. Hi, how's it going, guys? This week I'm going to talk about the movie An Evening with Kevin Smith. Do you guys know who Kevin Smith is? Anybody? Class? Anybody? Yeah, he's the Clerks guy. He directed the Clerks movie. That was dumb. Yeah, so you guys probably know who he is. He's Silent Bob. He did Clerks, he did Mallrats, he did Chasing Amy, he did Dogma, which was amazing. He did Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, he did Jersey Girl. He did like 1,000 movies, but for me, he's a cool guy because he was just like a guy. And then he was like a movie guy. Like he worked at a store and he wanted to make a movie. And he just went out and did it. And he dropped out of film school. And he is really good. He makes pretty good movies. Now, you might not even be a Kevin Smith fan. You might actually think he's crap. But I still think you should watch this movie. Because it's a 2-disc, 6-hour event where he goes around to all these different schools. And he talks about anything and everything. And the dude is just an amazing storyteller. It's very interesting stuff. I know that you guys like just hearing some random dude talk about stuff because you're watching this. But this dude is like a random dude talk about stuff with like interesting good stories that kind of give you an insight on like how he became famous and like how he became successful. And also like his like kind of inside views of like Hollywood and that kind of stuff. Perfect stuff to talk about here on The Rough Cuts. His stories are really entertaining. Like the guy can just tell a story and you're just captivated. I had one of my friends told me a story from this and I was captivated through the secondhand telling of the story. So that's how good the stories are. It's like I said, it's 6 hours, so you maybe might not want to watch it in one sitting, but I've watched it in one sitting multiple times. I watched it on a plane once, and I mean, I've watched it with friends and stuff. It's just good, enjoyable, kind of vulgar, because he's Kevin Smith, if you don't know him. But it's good insight, and it's, I don't know, for me, it puts me in the good frame of mind to hear these stories, to think like, well, this dude seems to be just like a guy, but he seems to be pretty entertaining, and he's doing okay. So I recommend to watch it. I don't know where you're going to find it. I mean, I could check to see if it's on Netflix, but I don't really feel like doing it. Fine, I'll do it. Things I do for you guys. I mean, you can get the DVD sent to you on Netflix. You got to pay an extra $7.99 a month for that? Like, what the heck's up with that? But get the movie. I mean, I think I probably paid like some good money to buy this, and it was worth it. You can see the box is kind of all banged up. Means I watched it a lot. Or at least I would take it around with me, show it to people. So, I don't know. If you've heard of it, you've probably watched it, I would imagine. It's really entertaining. The stories are great. The kids, it's weird because people worship celebrity and they see this guy as a celebrity and the kids ask him all these questions, and most of the people who were at these events are just like seem to be super fans, the ones who ask the questions. But it's a pretty interesting view of this guy who became successful in film. So watch it. Kevin Smith also has a sequel to this called Evening Harder, and it wasn't bad. I liked it. It was good. And, I don't know, I like this one better, and the sequel was shorter. And then he has more stuff, like Kevin Smith's all over the internet. He has on Netflix that Kevin Smith Too Fat for 40. Didn't like it as much. I feel like if you want to get, like, the real story, like, by the time you get to the later stuff, he's assumed that you've watched this and you hear all his basic good core stories. It's good. I don't know, I feel like Kevin Smith's philosophy is always changing on film, and sometimes I feel like he's kind of losing me on, like, some of his most recent changes in his life. Tyler said his Red State movie apparently wasn't very good, and he was let down with that. I followed Kevin Smith on Twitter, and Kevin Smith is definitely a character, but it's fun, and so it's enjoyable to watch his life through these stories that he talks on stage to people, and see him interact with the crowd, and see how he can tell a story, and kind of understand how the circumstances that made it so that he became, I'm trying to see how much time I've recorded on this video. It's kind of fun to see the circumstances that put him in where he is right now, and how he became a successful filmmaker. So if you guys are interested in film or comedy or a fat guy talking to a bunch of people, or a celebrity, just want to see a celebrity walking around, Evening with Kevin Smith. I guess the other thing I should probably say before I ramble about the same thing over and over again about this movie, it's funny because he seems to have had run into a lot of different celebrities and had kind of funny behind the scenes interactions that he talks about with certain celebrities. So it's there's also that aspect, like the kind of like a little bit of gossipy, kind of like, oh man, people in Hollywood are weird, but kind of cool, funny little stories with that too. So it's funny and it's informative, and you guys will like it, so go and watch it right now. Bye.